As the vicious war of words between President Donald Trump and Iran's clerical regime catastrophically escalated toward inevitable military confrontation throughout tense Gulf waters, Pentagon war planners concluded a decisive U.S. airstrike campaign targeting Tehran's nuclear infrastructure, and Revolutionary Guard command bunkers appeared catastrophically certain beyond reasonable operational doubt. Iranian military intelligence reportedly detected unprecedented U.S. military assets including B-2 stealth bombers, carrier strike groups, and F-35 squadrons executing ominous coordinated positioning maneuvers throughout the Persian Gulf, correctly sensing imminent preemptive attack preparations rapidly materializing against the Islamic Republic. The seemingly unstoppable trajectory toward kinetic escalation dramatically shifted only after a frantic last-minute de-escalatory message was urgently delivered directly to President Trump through White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, according to exclusive Wall Street Journal reporting piercing Washington's opacity. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi reportedly transmitted an emergency encrypted text message straight to White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff's secure communications device, representing unprecedented direct-channel communication amid spiraling crisis-threatening Gulf conflagration. A senior U.S. national security official confidentially told Wall Street Journal correspondents that Iran's foreign minister explicitly communicated Tehran had immediately halted approximately 800 scheduled protester executions across IRGC detention facilities nationwide as dramatic goodwill gesture. This extraordinary 11th-hour move constituted calculated de-escalatory signal, desperately aimed preventing U.S. military intervention that intelligence assessments warned could rapidly spread uncontrollably throughout vulnerable Gulf energy infrastructure and sovereign Arab territories. This precarious operational pause simultaneously arrived after Pentagon Joint Chiefs delivered stark classified briefings highlighting catastrophic existential risks posed by Iranian ballistic missile retaliation saturating 30,000 exposed U.S. troops stationed throughout vulnerable Gulf basing infrastructure. Additionally, throughout urgent video teleconference, Israel urgently flagged existential concerns given IDF having catastrophically depleted Arrow 3 and David Sling interceptor missile stockpiles during last summer's devastating 12-day multi-front war against Iranian missile barrages. Amid cascading objections from allies alongside skeptical military advisors, President Trump grew acutely concerned throughout Situation Room deliberations that initial precision strikes could rapidly spiral beyond containment into uncontrollable wider regional war devastating global energy markets overnight. White House national security principles expressed profound operational concerns circulating classified memos that airstrikes would paradoxically unify Iran's fractious regime alongside latent nationalist public opinion coalescing around clerical leadership rather than catalyzing revolutionary overthrow as optimistically predicted. Remember, precisely after President Trump's cascade of explicit public warnings threatening regime decapitation unless protester massacres immediately ceased, Tehran broadcast through Al-Quds force channels declaring all U.S. bases throughout the Middle East legitimate priority retaliatory targets for hypersonic missile strikes. Soon immediately afterward, throughout accelerated operational tempo, U.S. forces precipitously withdrew entirely from Iraq's Ain al-Assad airbase while simultaneously shifting critical command functions away from Qatar's vulnerable Al Udeid Air Base complex housing 10,000 personnel. Ain al-Assad Air Base, strategically situated throughout western Iraq's Anbar Desert, constituted one of Washington's single most important permanent forward operating installations throughout volatile Middle East battlespace, sustaining counter-ISIS operations alongside Iranian deterrence missions. This sprawling remote airbase gained tragic eternal infamy when Iran unleashed barrage of 16 fated ballistic missiles directly targeting American headquarters facilities throughout January 2020, explicit retaliation for US MQ-9 Reaper drone assassination of IRGC Quds Force Commander General Qasem Soleimani. That devastating, precisely aimed Iranian missile strike injured over 100 U.S. troops, suffering severe traumatic brain injuries alongside catastrophically underscoring fundamental vulnerability, confronting all American formations permanently stationed throughout Iranian proxy-encircled sovereign territory. Ain al-Assad closure alongside Al Udeid operational contraction brutally point toward America entering full-spectrum defensive flight mode, precisely as unprecedented regional tension surrounding Iranian revolutionary crisis heat toward flashpoint ignition throughout Gulf choke points. National security advisors urgently warned Oval Office throughout classified slide decks that more than 30,000 U.S. troops scattered throughout vulnerable Gulf basing from Bahrain through Kuwait faced existential annihilation risks should Tehran unleash promised saturation ballistic missile counterstrikes. However, despite this panicked repositioning throughout theater, U.S. CENTCOM headquarters maintained sustained highest alert status throughout Persian Gulf maritime domain, clearly indicating comprehensive military strike options against Iranian nuclear infrastructure remain operationally viable absent further de-escalation. U.S. intelligence officials gravely warned Wall Street Journal correspondents throughout background briefings that Tehran's 11th-hour execution moratorium may constitute sophisticated strategic deception specifically designed buying additional preparation time alongside manufacturing domestic political cover.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.